Ladies and gentlemen, I have an urgent breaking news report for you. New patch, new maps, new patch, new maps, new patch, new maps. Here's a new map. I'm gonna show you how I played it and what it is. It's called Babylon. And we played a nice ZVT here. It's kind of orange looking. It's got like gardens and shit. Little flowers. Supposed to be like Babylonian gardens. And there are also Ewoks here just jamming out. A lot of people didn't know that in ancient Babylon there were Ewoks and Protoss statues. So you're natural, you got like a nice stair-step ramp here. And then just a grassy downward ramp area. You've got some third base options, this one or this one. There's some rocks here, watch out for tanks next to this. You could take this as a fourth or a fifth. This could be a fourth or a fifth. Got some destructible rocks that could close this path, and these ones you could open. So I'll just take you through my build and kind of how the match plays out. Babylon Ladder Edition. Interesting colors. Overlord gets a scout and then doubles back. Getting some queens, getting some lings. And there is a Reaper jump into the main that you have to be mindful of. That's cool. Kind of zoom through the early game. It's just a bunch of standard stuff. This is a new patch as well, and they buffed Hydras. So I played Lingbane Hydra against Bio before. So now doing the same thing, it's just better. Doing everything the same, Lingbane Hydra is better. Which is cool. Hydra's buffed. Praise the Zerg Cabal. So taking my third base here. Still warming up. This is just second game of the day. A little bit rusty, not the most accurate, but we all make mistakes now and then. We're droning up here. Refilling the gas at 330. Keeping it normal. Massing some queens. Getting those bases injected. Spreading the creep between the bases. The third base is not super far away compared to like Cosmic Sapphire. Also, I feel like the maps this season are more aesthetically pleasing than last season. Last season it was like desert and rocks and metal. Just kind of dusty. And then there's an underwater map that was like kind of dark. This is pretty. I like this map. Do you upgrade Ling's attack or only Hydra? I actually went melee and Carapace this game. 1-1 melee Carapace, 2-2 melee Carapace. Observers are now larger than Ultras? What? Really? That's crazy. We got some Raven harass, just pull the workers away until those things expire. Move the spores to be more annoying for the Ravens. Bane speed first. I took my fourth base down from my natural. Queens are trying to spread creep. Just pull stuff back anytime the turret comes up. That turret, if you don't pull drones, can kill like 5 to 6 drones each one. And it's better to lose some mining time than to lose your workers. Fun fact. Now I'm breaking the rocks in front of my third, so there aren't tanks set up there. It is good to have creep in front of the rocks too here. So you see this. This makes it less good for them to set up tanks here because I can just run around on creep and get on that real quick. Pretty cool. Then these rocks I wanted to break later as well. I would say if you're looking at the most important rocks to break, these are pretty important, these are pretty important, and these are pretty important. It would be nice to break these rocks to attack my opponent, but if they have tanks over here, then you can't really attack this with Lings. And he's basically just playing kind of a SCV heavy macro style. Going for 5 gases. Armory upgrade. Double engineering bay upgrades 2-2. My 1-1 is just about done. So I'm a little bit behind in upgrades, but Zerg versus Terran do be like that. Getting a spore here to anchor my fourth base. And I'm trying to deal with this drop on the left-hand side. There's not a bunch of dead space here. This is one of the interesting things about all the maps is like how much dead space are on the sides and the corners of the map. Because that's going to determine how successful ground units like Queens and Hydras are at pressuring Medivacs. If there's more space on the side, then Medivacs have free reign to just fly across the edge of the map and do whatever they want. But here, like this Spore can shoot anything that passes by here, which is cool. I feel like that's good for ground units. So good ground map. Not really that many abusable spots for air. Like you could hide a Liberator or a BC back here for sure. You could hide some here. There's a decent bit of space here. But like by the natural, it's not a ton. Not a ton of airspace. How noticeable is this map? Let's say not super noticeable. You could maybe try an early one, like here or something. But yeah, the bases are pretty tight. I like the color of this, like rock and stone. Pretty cool. Interesting lighting and color of this map. It's an orange map with some like golf course, sandy, grassy stuff too. So Lingbane Hydra, we're opening up the map. I don't really want to commit if my opponent is just sitting in their base, because that gives tanks the most value. There is only one tank here, and it's mostly a Marine army. This tank is in a pretty cool spot. The creep is at the Terran's third base, so this is another thing. This creep lane, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 creep tumors from the third, and we got to the opponent's third. So this map has a pretty short rush if you take the paths with the rocks killed. Third base to third base. This is pretty close. I would say like maybe 2 stones throw away. If you're like pretty good at throwing a rock, about 2 stones throw away is your opponent's third. So be prepared for some aggressive stuff. Yep, I'm just kind of running around. I'm working on getting my hive tech going, so I'm not in a terrible rush to end the game. But as soon as I saw this move out here, I was like, okay, I'm totally fine to take a fight in the midfield because I'm maxed. So I kind of wait for him to get more on creep, and then I try to split between the paths here so I can munch this stuff and then just attack in this. And I just have so many lings. And there were no mines to get some really big splash. So yeah, we could just punch in. And then basically, if you control this spot, they're kind of toast. Because this is the area between the third, fourth, and the natural. So this is a key spot. Looking at my territory, if someone were to take this key spot from me, I'm basically dead. So this can be what you could consider the spot where you can end the game, or at least like put your opponent in a really bad spot, is if you can beat their army to the point that you hold this, you've kind of won. Like attacking into here would suck, because I would have to attack through rocks up into a tank. But if you just attack, this is even ground. I don't even have to go uphill to attack into them. I go downhill from my fourth base, and then it's a straight shot to my opponent's like main thoroughfare. So yeah, Babylon Ladder Edition, pretty cool map. Nice tile set. Seems pretty good for ground stuff. Very short rush from third to third. And not a ton of dead space on the side. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. New patch, new maps, new patch, new maps! Let's go.